we are recording.
We're recording. So lovely. So this is the weekly live stream channeling session with the Pleiadian Council. I'm Dante Starshine. Sarah's our beautiful host, reading the questions that are typed in aloud. We also have questions submitted in advance via Patreon. That's an amazing way to support my channel as I continue to share these things every week, and some videos here and there in between. I'm launching another channeling course mid-October, and there will be more information coming out about that soon. It's a really beautiful way to gain some skills to empower your self-healing practice and to get in touch with your guides and to put all of that to work to support others in this beautiful ascension process. I don't have anything else to say beyond that, so I will let them come through and let you have that time with them. Hello, and we say a good day to each and every one of you this moment of your time. As the Pleiadian Council, it is a great pleasure for us to meet you and to share with you in this way. It supports your planet through this process you call Ascension, as well as it supports us in deepening our connection to Source and truly all other beings that we all, in our own ways, come into contact with. So our thanks is with you, and we will most support you with any questions, reflections, or sharings that you have at this time. We can begin with a short message that has to do with this process you describe as Ascension. In your language, Ascension generally would mean going up higher. Yet, the true nature of all processes that you go through energetically typically involve waves where you go up and down and up. Yet, in this wave, you are also going a little bit higher every time you come to a new peak. And the low that you go back down to is never as low as the low that you went to before. So again, our reminder is that you must not judge or attempt to escape those moments when you are moving from a peak back into a low point in that wave of your own personal vibration. Instead, use that low point as a moment of transformation, as a moment in which you allow yourself to question perhaps which belief systems are causing you to recreate certain patterns, or which behaviors are causing you to recreate those certain patterns. And beyond the wave that you go through up and down continuously, you also go through different cycles of repeating a certain behavior loop again and again. When you notice what those unique loops are for you have many different loops, you could say, in your relationships and your relationship to the idea of your creativity, your service, your work, you could say. When you notice what those loops are, and say this is a negative loop, you simply take a moment to stop and pause and notice the pattern for what it is and make a different decision in that moment. you break the loop entirely. And you use that moment as a pivotal point to create an entirely different loop. Now, in order to actually break through, you first have to drop away the resistance to the loop itself. When you attempt to break the loop in a negative way, if you are judging yourself or viewing yourself in a negative light because of the loop, oftentimes you will actually create another negative loop. But if you decide to make a change from a place of neutral acceptance of yourself, it will be much easier to launch a loop in a positive direction. Everything moves in cycles, waves, and patterns. So know that everything you do is not just a static thing in a fixed moment in time. It is the part of many other waves of energy. It can be a continuation of some waves that initiated long ago, or it can be the initiation of new waves that are carrying forward into many different timelines of your so-called future. And this is why we always remind you to remember yourselves all the time, that you are only experiencing reality frame by frame. Yet what is really happening is simultaneously many different timelines, and all of the so-called past and future moments are here and now. So when you see every behavior, every action as a part of that bigger framework of reality, and you meet all potential expressions of yourself in the now with total acceptance, you can shift yourself into new experiences in every moment, and with willingness to totally transform. As you do this, your sense of who you are will be much less defined by those past identifications that you have conjured. The more you free yourself of identification with the changing aspects of your human form, the more you will be able to integrate higher components of your oversoul that allow for your other incarnations to express through you now, bringing what you have termed supernatural gifts into the world. But again, they are super and they are natural. They are not extraordinary in a sense that they are not normal. They are natural. It simply arises when you realize that magic exists within every moment and does not require something big, grand, outside of yourself, something with much effort at all. It is returning to naturalness that allows you to be supernatural. So we hope you benefit from this transmission, and it allows you to integrate certain information and different vibrations into your being in ways that suit you. And now we would be very happy to support you with any inquiries that you do have.
Does anybody have any questions? Look in the chat here. I don't see any questions in the chat. One thing I do want to say is that this morning when I was sharing this video, for some reason, it logged into my page. So it's sharing on my page, which I did share to Dante's page. I guess we should just keep the ball rolling like this. I've been sharing it out, but we may not get quite as many people knowing that it's happening because it's going live on my page. So who knows? I guess it's an experiment unless you want me to stop the recording on Facebook and then go live again into Dante's page. So that's a question for Dante.
we can proceed as it is occurring right now.
Okay, it's kind of an experiment, but sorry about that.
Yes, this will
Jeez.
be, in a sense, also a shorter session, so it
Okay.
allows for those who are here to have the experience they need in the moment.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so let's see. Michael Lassen has a question. Any update on events happening in Eastern Europe and being ready to stay where we are for the time being, as mentioned earlier in the summer?
Now is still an open window where some degree of travel can occur. In your October or November, there may be changes that occur in that sense, a return to some of the patterns that you have witnessed before. Though again, this depends on many circumstances and the reality that you choose, though this is generally where we can say you are heading now, given the current energies. And no, we do not have an update on this situation in Eastern Europe at this time.
All right. Okay, let's see if there's anybody. Let's see if there's anyone on our Facebook, because I don't see anyone. Oh, here we go. Emily. I would love to ask the Pleiadians guidance on me purchasing land.
Well, if you would like to do that, we suggest that you do. Again, we are expressing that we cannot give personal guidance through this means of text-based communication. We need a live interaction in order to go to the deeper details of these such exchanges, though we are very capable of answering more general or questions that pertain to collective circumstances via text.
Hi there. One sec, baby.
Hello.
There she is.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for that transmission at the beginning. It was incredible and life-changing as always. Thank you.
Oh, thanks to you.
Yeah. I was going to ask for the collective about guidance on activating our DNA. If you would say that that is quite essential now, as well as that being a passion to follow.
Yes. Well, again, the idea of activating your DNA is such that you activate the positive aspects of the DNA that are already there and perhaps lying dormant. Again, your DNA is always changing. It is not static. And it ties very well into what we were saying previously, as your DNA is also these living patterns that express through you. So your DNA, in a way, allows for those choices that you make again and again to stick and to, in a sense, become temporarily a part of you. Though when you choose different behaviors, your DNA also changes. So to activate your DNA, you must remain in a positive state as much as you can, as often as you can, returning to a state that is based in love, joy, passion. And as you do that, aspects of your extraterrestrial DNA do come online as they vibrate with that high frequency energy. When you match the frequency of that energy, those different tools can come online from extraterrestrial oversoul aspects. And it also then allows you to make conscious connections with those aspects if you choose. So yes, that is very important. It is vital that you remain in a positive state and then activate your DNA. And different tools that you work with that are described as DNA activations are, in a way, vibrational communications of certain higher frequencies that you carry out through light, through sound, through art, through voice, or simply through presence. And these tools really work. It again allows a resonance to occur between that higher frequency energy and those who are choosing to receive such DNA activations. And it, yes, allows those receiving such activations to tune into that higher frequency state and hopefully stay there. Though again, they must, in a sense, understand that it is an activation. You could almost better describe it as a DNA activation initiation, as there must be continued work done to maintain that higher frequency.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. That's holds such clarity. Incredible.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, well, thanks to you as well.
Yeah, game changer. Just touching on that then, just to ask if you do have any guidance on that. I was looking to purchase some land.
All right. Do you have a sense of where?
Southwest UK, to kind of hold commune space.
Yes. And do you have a variety of different friends you would like to invest in this land with, or how do you suppose to purchase it?
It's with savings.
All right. Yes, that would work as well. You can do that, and we actually would encourage you to wait a bit. In 2021, there will be a financial valley, you could say, that will allow you to purchase this at a more feasible amount.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much, as always. Life-changing. Thank you.
Okay, I'm just looking. I don't know if I got any questions from Patreon today, but
No,
okay.
not today.
I might have a question.
Okay,
All
Josh,
right.
go ahead.
Hi, great council. Thank you again for all this amazing knowledge. I'd have a question for you guys.
Thanks to you as well. Yes.
Awesome. I seem to be having a personal tricky time into visualization. What I notice happens often is I would start a visualization for something that's kind of fun, but then through either something reminding me of something in the past, it leads me into another visualization and has me hopping between multiple subjects or multiple ideas without necessarily completing, let's say, an intention of visualization, either to upgrade the DNA or to clear something out. I was kind of wondering if there's any kind of tips or tricks to help remain steady in visualization and meditation.
Well, do you suppose that the tangents you go on serve you?
Some of them do. There's at times a chain of possible things to go through or to look through to then clear out procedurally, or if I ever get back to the initial subject. Yet oftentimes I feel like I'm thrown into the bushes on completing a specific subject.
Yes. Well, you don't always need to finish that initial subject or intention. Sometimes it serves you to explore the realms that you are coming to explore. And you can always return to that initial intention at a later point to see if there is something more to experience there. Understand again that the purpose is to expand your frequency to higher and higher heights of bliss and love. So if you begin somewhere and find yourself wandering to something that brings you to feel more expansion, then that is serving you. But if you find yourself wandering to something that is either of a lower vibration or very distracting in its nature, it feels as if you are not on the sweet spot, then we would encourage you to return to the initial thread.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
And then maybe a follow-up question, if possible.
All right.
This would then lead into the aspect of being able or having more facility to let go.
All right.
What would be, because I've also noticed, especially nowadays with this whole turmoil, being able to let go of social media, being able to let go of various other things around, even in my physical space in my house, it's been a bit of a challenge. Would there be certain tips on that, not necessarily getting involved in social media as well?
So you're finding yourself then distracted by many different things that are available to you around you.
Yes. Which also includes social media, but also various things I just keep holding on to, yet could easily just not necessarily use or haven't used in a couple of years as well. It all seems to be this big subject of letting go.
Yes. Could you perhaps take a period of several days to limit your communication and limit your distraction to the bare essential, and then return to the experience of social media and these other tools?
There's a good chance. I'll definitely look into that, but it's possible.
Yes. And could you perhaps spend a greater amount of time in nature and focus on the direct experience of sensory input and the direct impact of your attention upon your experience within your body?
It's also possible.
Yes.
Maybe not an entire week, but I could definitely manage that for certain weekends.
Yes, several days, perhaps. And knowing that as you take that break, again, it is much like we said in the beginning, you break the pattern loop and you initiate new patterns. And so you can then return to many of these different tools and old projects, but with a different perspective, as a new person with a new attitude.
Awesomeness. Yes, definitely. I'm sensing it now. Thank you.
Yes, our thanks to you as well.
Well, I guess I'll ask a question.
Yes.
Start my video here. So I have two things going on. One of the things is, I'm still dealing with quite a bit of anxiety. And it seems like when there's extra energy in my heart or extra energy in my solar plexus, it feels like it tends to translate itself into anxiety rather quickly. And I was talking to another intuitive channel that I work with, and they said to like imagine like just shooting that extra energy like right up into the great central sun and like connecting to, you know, source consciousness with that enthusiasm, that ecstasy, that joy, that excitement, that propulsion.
Yes.
And I like that idea. I've been playing around with it when I'm driving along, and this extra energy is just really powerful in me. I've been just like saying woo-hoo and just like sending it up like it's a party, you know, like a streamer that says I'm alive, baby, you know, that kind of thing. And
Yes.
I don't know if it's exactly requalifying the energy as much as I would like, but I'm playing around with that. And then the other thing is that I went walking in nature yesterday, and the way the sun, as we were rising from the valley, the way the sun was emanating through the trees and the sunlight, it was mystical. It was like the new earth. It was an octave of beauty. so far beyond what I've ever experienced. And I almost had to cry and weep, and became weak in the knees, and my body was just shaking. And I'm like, I started singing a song, you know, the beauty that I see is the beauty in me. I am the beauty that I see. And that helped, singing the song. But then last night when I got in bed, my heart was just pumping with terror. Like I kept waking up with this just massive terror all through my heart. And I was like, wow, it was like the beauty gave me this enema. It was like I breathed in this incredible light, and all this purging was happening from the muscle of my heart, you know, from the vessel of it. So I wanted to just ask you for like a reflection of how can I be, how can I bring this excitement and be in this joy and be in this beauty, and let go of fear and not be mad or pissed off when I get anxious, but just honor the passing of the fear. I guess I just want your reflections around this. It's been quite up. My heart is still like pulsing with terror from the release of it all. Yeah. The beauty's all around, you know, too. So
Yes. Well, as you do know, the experience of anxiety or terror in these cases is a release of energy. The more that you bring in these higher frequencies of love and joy, anything beneath the surface of this lower vibration nature will be felt, be experienced, be expunged. So the
yeah.
less resistance you have to that experience of release, the quicker the release can move through you. And as for the feeling of excess energy, we would also encourage you to circulate energy through your body. There is this circuit, or perhaps also known as a microcosmic orbit, where energy moves through your body. So when you feel as if energy builds and builds in your heart or solar plexus, as you breathe, imagine bringing that energy up to the top of your head, and as you exhale, imagine the energy passing down the front side of your body to your root, and then continue moving the energy up your back, down your front. Imagine that this charge of energy can circulate through your whole body and perhaps fills gaps in places that need the energy. And with the anxiety, we would simply encourage you to feel the sensation of it without focusing too much on the thoughts that relate to it. Simply feel that feeling, and as you breathe, imagine that sensation also being washed through these waves of energy as you breathe.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. It's been a pretty almost 37 years of panic anxiety, and just the sense that any second I could be killed, just any second I could lose the life connection. And I just wonder if I'm coming to a time where there'll be a critical mass of this divine mother love, or this connection to source consciousness, that there will be more of me experiencing safety and benevolence, holding space for all the feelings to move, but not existing as the terrified one, but existing as this calm container that can witness the rising and the falling of emotion.
Yes. Is it not already, in a sense, getting easier?
Yes, it's definitely easier, but I really long for the day when the baseline of what I feel is safety and calm in my body.
Yes.
So not sure
As you
what
are
to do.
continuing to evolve through this process, there is a transition you are in the midst of. Whereas instead of identifying with that terror, you are simply witnessing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yeah, for sure.
So that is the circuit breaker still. You are continuing to break the circuit.
Nice.
And the new
Yes!
circuit to now seek to break is the circuit of resistance to the process of release. So you may come to understand that it does not matter what you are feeling in the background when there is still the focus directed towards what elevates your frequency beyond all else. And when that is where your focus is, and you are simply witnessing the passing energy in the background, you can still be of service. You can still do everything you need to do. You can still be a powerful healing force for those around you. And as you come to build this new circuit, you will be able to hold open that space regardless of whatever energy is releasing within you in that moment.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Cool. While I've got you here, I've got one more topic that I'm really excited about this one. So it's been coming into the focus of, it feels like I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but it feels like now it's starting to realize itself. And that is to bring a small group of children together with me. I'm thinking like maybe 3-4 children, and have these experiments in co-creating, following the divine intelligence, like in the moment and in the heart's desire to like find the highest passion, the highest joy, and the highest fun in every now moment, and just be in this sort of laboratory where the priority in this space is given to following our heart's desires and to facilitating that, you know, through, and to have a lot of materials, like a lot of art supplies, a lot of music supplies, nature beauty all around, field trips, co-creation of nourishment and yummy snacks and puppet shows and musical recordings and story writing and anything that we can, that the three of us decide that we want to do in each moment, so that we're like grounding this light, right, through our joy, through our joyful creativity. We're like, I still don't know exactly what's happening. Maybe you can clarify, but I feel like we're almost like grabbing these ribbons of beautiful light, and then we're doing our creativity, we're following our joy, and we're making this light come more into the body. And I think it's coming more into the earth itself. I think we're changing the nature of the earth grid through these really, really spontaneous and deeply connected dynamic partnership with divinity in every moment through our hearts. So I wondered, I mean, it's a lot of words and I'm trying to grok, like, what exactly am I doing? What exactly is this that we're doing?
Well, the simplest way to put it would be to reprogram yourself and, in a way, allow children to tap into the most natural orientation to simply following passion, living through passion, and being centered in that heart space of what uniquely and individually lights one up.
In the moment. Okay. That's a better way. That's more simple. But as we do that, are we aligning with higher timelines? Are we changing our DNA? Because it feels big.
Yes,
It feels
that's
like
all happening.
It feels really
It is big, but
big.
it is simultaneously
Small.
just as simple. So,
Yeah.
well, not small, simple.
Simple.
So the details can overwhelm. The
Yeah.
expanse of it can overwhelm at times.
Yeah.
When you truly realize and remember that being in the state that you prefer, being filled with passion, being oriented towards allowing your natural joy to guide you does shift you to higher timelines, activate your DNA, expand the consciousness grid of the earth, and allow you to access higher dimensional spirit guides and so on and so forth. It is all happening, though if you attempt to focus on all of the things that are happening instead of being directly involved in the experience of passion and remembering that all of the details you need to know will be there the moment you need to know them, and you might not know them before you need to know them.
Yeah.
And again, there's always things happening in the background of grand proportions.
Yeah.
You can allow that to simply guide you. You can allow yourself to focus on the motion of the wave rather than analyzing the entire trajectory of the wave.
I see. Yeah. That's why I think that the whole experience is going to be very grounding, because it really is pretty simple.
Yeah.
Just like, what do you want to do today, guys? Or what do you want to do in this moment? And if there's only 3 children, then I can really allow them to each pursue what they want to do, so that they can really do their individual, highest joy in that moment. And then we can regroup and do some things together, but we can be at the center of it all, is that total honoring of choice.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you so much. My flyer that I wrote up, it's like a bit complex. I'm like, okay, it's really just like doing what we love, the doing what we love school.
Yes.
Doing what we love, play shop. Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate
Oh yes, thanks to you as well.
witnessing and breathing, and yes, and simply doing what we love. Thanks. Does anybody else have a question?
Laurel has a question.
Yay, Laurel.
Hi. Okay. I write down little quotations and keep them. And I was thinking about this quotation from Yogananda.
All right.
Never, yes, excuse me. Never identify yourself with the errors you have committed. And there's a little more than that, but that's the basic of it. And I have a hard time with forgiveness, and I wonder if specifically you could just speak about self-forgiveness and letting go of past so-called mistakes, but things that have hurt other people sometimes.
Do you have awareness of what we say in the vein of you are never the same person you were before? You are always a new version of yourself.
Oh, okay. I never have really heard you say that, but now I am hearing it.
All right. Well, we say this when we say, again, in every moment you are shifting through billions of parallel realities. And every time you enter into a new reality, you're literally a new version of yourself. Same soul, different being. Whenever you change one belief, the entire system changes. Whenever you change one pattern, the entire system, you could say, of yourself is completely new. So when you see these past moments as different versions of yourself, it is much easier to, in a sense, take distance from them. And you can understand in a very objective sense that these beings did everything that they could have possibly done to succeed and be loving
Okay.
according to their past belief system and their perspective on reality. Everything they did was perfect in its alignment.
Okay.
And therefore, it is simply a recognition of the perfection that is innate that allows self-forgiveness to happen naturally.
Oh, thank you. And then forgiveness of the other. I've found that through some self-exploration, I found that my holding on to the past with pain from a particular interaction, this reaction to whomever or whatever, it's tied to safety. Like there's some sense in me that if I forgive and let go of that, that I'm no longer safe from whoever created that that feeling in me of hurt or shame or whatever. And so when it's tied to safety so strongly, it's been difficult for me to do the forgiveness.
All that forgiveness is releasing of your own negative emotional charge to the other person. And there are sometimes ideas that mean that, or make it so that if you release that negative charge, you also then are supposed to put your guard down, or you are supposed to not make it very clear how you feel and what you would prefer to experience with that person. So forgiveness is part of it, but it is not forgiveness that causes you in any way to feel unsafe. It is the lack of creating boundaries. And in a sense, the resentment is a false boundary. So if you stop creating the false boundary of resentment and you create a genuine boundary of stating your preferences, remaining aware of the other person's behavior, and communicating clearly how you have felt and what you do feel, you can create a real, true boundary that will allow safety and allow forgiveness to, in a sense, be very natural.
Oh, that makes so much sense. And, have this idea because I am so sensitive that it's going to be like, and I think I've had some experience with it, boy, you're really being picky about this, aren't you? But I'm pretty sensitive to energies. And I don't like to get that negative feedback about boy, you're making a big deal out of nothing, aren't you?
If somebody does not value the way you are feeling, they may not be, in a sense, the greatest persons who choose to establish allyship with.
What was the word? Allyship?
Yes.
To establish
Kinship, friendship, allyship.
Yeah. Okay, that is very, very helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, thanks to you as well.
Well, it's pretty quiet out there, so I don't know. If we don't have any more questions in here, we might just close up early.
I have a quick question.
Yes, Amanda, go ahead.
Hi, it's just a curiosity, and it is, hello, Pleiadians.
Yes, hello.
Hello. I am in large part enjoying my journey here,
All
but
right.
I'm also looking forward to the galactic party. And I'm sort of wondering about our evolution and other planets, other beings also evolving similarly to us.
Yes.
I mean, how pivotal are we? I mean, is there going to be a great party when we're all more living in unity? And secondarily, is moving from the 5th density to the 6th density as challenging as it is going from the 3rd to the 5th? Thank you.
Well, again, you must remember that it is all here and now.
Yes.
So, again, you are only choosing to experience reality frame by frame. And as you activate more of your psychic senses, you can be living in many of these parallel realities while still maintaining your earth physical body and your physical life. So by opening and expanding in order to experience, feel all of these other lifetime experiences, you bring those energies into the now. And you also bring the frequency of those other extraterrestrial lifetimes into your now moment. You are able to live them, to feel them, to express the way that your Pleiadian soul aspects express. And it allows life to be much lighter, much more easeful, much more joyful. And you also start to be able to choose, if you would like to experience in your dreams many more extraterrestrial domains and expressions and experiences. So this is a common mistake in your world, that you think that experiencing the galactic party means you have to leave physical reality. When really there is greater joy in being able to experience these parallel realities and bring the positive ones you enjoy into this physical earth plane to transform the earth plane itself.
Very good. Yes.
That is why you are here. That is what you all agreed to. And while you may not sometimes remember it, it serves you more to go through that process of transformation and change the very framework of reality that all of you operate under. Now, as for if the transition from a 5th density to 6th density is as challenging, well, no. It involves a great degree, really, of transformation. It is, in a sense, a prolonged process, though the aspect of challenge as you experience it is not a part of that process.
Of course, that makes sense. So the party is here.
Yes.
Yes. Very well. Thank you, my loves.
Our thanks to you as well.
Aw, the party is here. When I get to hug you, Amanda, the party begins.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, how are we doing out there? Does anybody have any last questions? I think we may be just wrapping up shop a bit early.
Maybe
Josh.
something. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. This one may have been a reiteration of what we've spoken before, but it may have not necessarily sank in the last few times. It is this aspect of being able to personally allow more love in. And I was kind of wondering if there were maybe certain visualizations that we could hold to allow more of it in when there's a sensation of barriers within.
You can focus upon this area at the back of your heart chakra and the upper neck around the shoulders. A visualization that might work is to visualize a door or a window or some sort of portal or gate there that opens and expands to allow love in. A practice you could do is to sit up against a tree, or even at home against a wall, imagining the wall to be some form of life. You can sit up against the back of another person even, and imagine the energy pouring in from whatever source into your body through this gate at the back of your heart, and allow the love to move through you, again, moving through your body in that circuit of energy. Beyond that, to allow more love in is to let go of any beliefs that associate love with control, oppression, or dominance in any way. This is a collective pattern that all of you experience in your own unique way. So undoing this pattern involves reliving the story of how it was ingrained in your body and transforming that story, connecting again with your child self. Well, as we say child self, there are many, many child selves, and liberating them again through that process of inner child work, you could say, reliving the memories and changing the memories, interacting with your inner child and asking them what they truly need and allowing them to meet those needs and experiencing freedom from past constraints. This is a powerful way you can make yourself more available to absorb this love. And beyond
Did he freeze or did I freeze? Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
Yes, we
he
can hear
froze.
you.
I guess, did we lose Dante there?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe his signal. He'll probably come back on, I bet.
Wow.
Dante, where are you? His name is still there.
It
His
might have,
box is still there.
the application might have froze.
Yeah. Oh, there his box is off, but he'll probably come back.
Oh wow.
Welcome, Tristan. Welcome, Manuela. I hope that Dante comes back.
Me too.
I think he will.
When that happens, connections, huh?
I know.
Oh,
He was wanting to end early, so maybe he said it will happen.
wow. He saw
There he
it.
is.
Hey.
Oh, where are you?
oh, that was weird.
There
How
you
much
are.
of that was caught?
Oh my gosh. We lost
It was
you.
about 2 minutes you were gone.
Oh, okay. But you heard a lot of that.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
speaking
Thank
of
you,
love
man.
and trees.
Yeah.
opening the
Okay.
portal in the back heart and
Right.
sitting up against trees or sitting up against a loved one or yeah.
And understanding that,
All right,
that
let
the,
us return.
yes.
So we've got a question. I think Manuela, right? Are you done, Josh? Do you have more of that you want to
Well, we
ask?
are not sure that you heard all of that.
Yeah, maybe go. Yeah.
We also
Yeah,
did say that beyond doing this practice, this visualization, it is also important to undo belief systems that associate love
Oh yeah, we got
with
this.
control or dominance. Yes, you heard this part.
Mm-hmm.
By doing that process of inner child work, reprogramming yourself by reprogramming those memories. Yes?
hmm and maybe this was all great. Great thanks for that. One last maybe possible segment to that would be asking the question is there a possibility that some of the things that may be locked off may be due to multiple past life experiences?
Yes,
Sure.
though understand that any past life connection will generate a physical present life circumstances that has the same vibration. So it is helpful and important to look at both the other lifetimes and the present lifetime. Though again, understand that from what we are saying, in the sense that every past version of yourself is a different you, you are still doing past life work when you are doing seeming present life regressions.
Thank you. Great thanks to you guys.
Cool. Thanks, Josh. Manuela, would you like to ask your question? Are you still there?
Yes. Sorry.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My question is quite personal, but I hope it's not something too personal. So last Saturday, I had a strange fall. No, not Saturday. I think it was Friday. Not entirely sure. I had a strange fall. So I would like to ask, maybe, is there something I'm not noticing, or is there something I'm not listening, so that would happen to make me see something I'm not already seeing?
You had a strange fall. You had a strange what?
Paul, I fell and I have no idea.
Yes.
I wonder if there is something that I'm not seeing, so that happened for me to see or realize.
Are you grounded?
Am I grounded? I don't know. Maybe it's my personality to always be in the clouds. I am always,
Yes.
yeah. It's quite hard to,
So
yeah, I'm listening.
it's quite hard to what?
To keep in real life. My head is
Yeah.
constantly going elsewhere.
That's all right. So you yourself more fully into the moment when you are taking physical actions, when you are moving forward in your life. It is important in the sense to make sure that the times that you are dreaming and the times that you are creating within physical reality have clear boundaries. You make clear distinctions between them. So it begins with awareness, bringing awareness into your physical body, especially into your feet and legs, noticing the way that you are standing, the way that your feet touch the ground. Understand that everything you experience can be an act of pleasure. It can be an experience of enjoying physical reality. So again, much like we said earlier, you must fully enjoy physical reality. You must fully drop into it. It must be a beautiful and lovely thing for you, because that is the point to being here. And the more that you come to enjoy this experience of physical reality, everything within it will be easier. And also these otherworldly connections will be even easier and more enriching to connect with.
So basically, I was too distracted with my own thoughts. It was
Yes.
a call to reality.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
Yes, and know that this is actually quite common for many of you starseeds and those that are more interested in connecting above and beyond. Falling, tripping, stubbing toes is a light way that your soul signals you to be more physically here and now. So you may want to do various practices like Qigong or yoga to establish clearer connection with your feet and legs and feel them as channels of energy beyond these physical things that hold you up. Can you feel them? Can you feel the energy that flows upwards through them to make your life possible? So establish that clear sense of energy flowing upwards from your feet into your body can help you truly be present here.
Okay, I will try that. I stopped doing yoga for a while now. I think I'm gonna go back to it. Probably need
Yes,
it.
that would be very helpful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Cool. Does anybody else have a question?
We cannot hear anything,
Hard to hear you.
but we heard gratitude, and
Gratitude
we
and
reflect that gratitude.
blessings.
All right.
Gratitude and blessings and all that good stuff. I don't want to say really quick, like I'm super sleepy right now. I wonder if there's like light codes that are wanting to take me to another place.
Yes, sleepiness means time to rest, and when you are dreaming and sleeping, understand that you are drifting from physical reality to bring higher frequency energies into your life. So, yes, you're correct.
Cool. All right, everybody. Let's put this on gallery view. We can all see each other and yawn together. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if everyone's sleepy, but no. Hi,
All right,
Tristan.
yes.
I see you. Hi, Emily. Hi, Amanda.
Hello.
Yay. There's
Our great
everybody.
thanks to each and every one of you then for co-creating this interaction and choosing again to ground into this reality to allow higher expressions to emerge. Our love is with you. Our gratitude is with you. And we thank you for choosing to co-create this ascension with us and with all members of your world.
Thank you. Thanks,
Yay.
Dante. That was so sweet.
Thank you.
Oh,
It's
I'm
fantastic, dude.
sleepy.
That was amazing.
I think I'm traveling to the Pleiades right now.
Really good.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Tell us about your retreat.
Oh, it was really good.
Yeah, you sound
you-
so mellow and relaxed.
Did you learn some
We did
new
we
stuff?
did Tai Chi.
That's so beautiful.
Did I learn new stuff? Yeah, maybe, kind of. I was integrating that practice a bit. It's really
Yeah.
good practice, and
The
it was really beautiful out in nature, and it was nice to kind of be with amazing people all the time, every
Yeah.
day, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was very good.
Did they have some cocoa? Some cacao?
Cacao?
Oh, always there's cacao here in Guatemala.
Awesome.
We always
I still have to get some of that stuff.
You can order cacao from me as well, by the way, everybody.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I'll keep note
Yeah,
of
I have
that.
a link to buy the really high quality, delicious
Yeah.
cacao. If you message me, I can dig it up and send it your way.
How easy is
Good
it
deal.
to prepare?
Well, you just chop it up and
Yeah.
you can put it in a blender with hot water, or you can blend it by hand with a fork in a coffee cup.
What do you use for chopping? I remember when we did the cacao together. I'm trying to remember. Did you just have a sharp knife, or did you have a?
Yeah, sharp knife. You can also use a cheese grater, but I prefer the knife.
Mm.
Maybe the cheese grater is faster.
Or a microplane, maybe. Cool. I'm excited to try it still.
What? Yay.
Awesomeness. Hey, thanks again, man. It's fucking cool.
You're welcome.
It is really fucking cool.
Is it 2 tablespoons that's like considered a dose?
4 is a full dose, but 2 is enough for sure to feel
For
it.
me, probably 1's enough. 2.
Perhaps,
Okay,
yeah.
2 to 4. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
I guess
Thank
we'll
you guys. And
say goodbye.
yeah, the link for the donations is there if you can support. Is really appreciated. And also sharing the stream or the YouTube video. YouTube videos in general is really how things keep going. Of course, always when you like it, that even supports it. So it's very grassroots, mouth to mouth, person to person connection. That
Life support here.
you understood what I mean.
Mouth to mouth,
Yes.
baby. Mouth to ear to
Yeah.
ear to mouth to ear to mouth to ear. It's a weird
It's a
kind
hard-
of resuscitation.
You
All
know,
of the
it
energy
just
transfer.
works.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally understand.
All right.
Oh, and your new channeling course. When will it begin? In October?
Yeah, October 18th, I think it's set to begin. October 18th.
See, I have his sleepiness now.
Oh, what?
Nice and relaxing. Turn it into relaxation.
I'm really tired. We were waking up at 5 in the morning during the retreat, and that's not typical for me. And then there was like a surprise party yesterday after the retreat that I went to, and I'm just I'm still needing a bit of integration. So it's beautiful that it was not. I could have handled it, but it's beautiful that it isn't quite fully as long today, I guess.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though.
That works out great. Well, love to everybody.
Well,
Love
hey,
to you
thanks a lot
guys.
to everyone for the questions. Dante, Sarah, thanks to everyone. It's awesomeness.
Bye.
Everyone.
Everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye for now.
Love.
Good recovery, everyone.
Yeah, everybody, let's go sleep in the Pleiadian ship. Bye.
Ciao, Bella.
Ciao, Bella.
Oh.
Here we go.